This is Radio for Life right across the South Coast. G'day, it's Graham here for a Monday morning. Now, I'm joined in the studio at the moment, first of all, by 941's afternoon announcer Darren, and also from station sponsor Body Revival, Rhett Thomas Lee, as we're going through some fitness tips. As it is now summer, we want to try and get fit and lose a bit of weight as we lead up to Christmas. Now, we're all down at the beach over summer, well, most of us especially across here on the South Coast. I've heard, does walking in sand, is that better than sort of going for your sort of normal walk on the normal pavement? Is that more beneficial because you're sort of using more energy in the sand?
Yes, you're exerting more energy because it's unstable ground. So as the sand collapses away from your feet, it's actually using more muscles, or actually your muscles are tensing more often to stabilise yourself. So pretty much if you're on an unstable surface, it takes more of your body to contract and hold yourself in that position than, for example, if you're walking on pavement or running on pavement.
I've heard. Is that why, say, you see sporting teams, they'll go and do some training on sandhills?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, what it takes a lot more energy to get up to the top of a sand hill instead of a normal hill. So in turn, what you're doing is burning more energy, keeping yourself a lot fitter in tone. So.
Now, Rhett, as Darren mentioned a little bit earlier, we're in a way required, if we would like to lose some weight, to do a minimum at least of 20 minutes a day of exercise. Now with that, there's sort of the more weight we can lose, is it dependent on the more exercise we do, and also if we sort of eat more healthily as well?
Kind of. It's a fine ratio between those ones. What you want to make sure you do is you're eating the right foods at the right times, as well as having the exercise. So personally, I find if I do my exercise in the morning, then I get it out of the way. It's done for the day. I feel great. I wake up at 5:30 every morning to go out and do sessions. So it does take a bit of time on your body and a bit of a toll. But I find if I get my exercise done out of the way, usually I get up sometimes at about 4:30 in the morning and go to the gym, then it's done for the day. I'm fine. I'm happy.
That sounds perfect for Graham.
especially doing the breakfast show.
Now, Rhett, is it okay to maybe splurge on a bit of chocolate maybe once a week or once a day or something like that?
Oh, definitely. You've got to refuel the body, and you've got to make sure you're having fun while you're doing it. The people that go on the crash course diets that, in turn try to lose all the weight at one time, what's what we call in the industry a yo-yo diet. And what they do is they go straight down and they crash, and when they have actually a little bit of energy again, they come straight back up. So pretty much if you cut out carbohydrates completely out of your diet, when your body starts getting a little bit more once you finish your diet, it'll actually store it as fat and energy. So then in turn, what it's going to do is stay in your body a lot longer, and in the end, it's going to come straight back up to that normal weight. What you want to try to focus on is having a nice balanced regime that you can go through. And example, make sure you're eating breakfast every morning. Make sure you're going out and doing a bit of exercise every day. Make sure you're having fun as well. And then in turn, you'll actually start a lifestyle change instead of a crash course diet.
This morning here on the 941 Breaky Show, we're joined in the studio by our fitness guru from station sponsor Body Revival, Rhett Thomas Lee. Now, as you can probably see, Daz and I, we've got a little bit of weight around our stomachs. What are some good exercises for people like us and others in general who've sort of got that little bit of extra fat and weight around their girth? How is it doing sit-ups? Is it walking? Just things like that in general?
Well, if you're looking for overall body fat,
how can we get a six-pack? That's what we want.
Don't we, Dad?
I've got one, but it's hidden.
Well, what you want to do if you're going for the six-pack option, it's just a crash. It's not a crash course diet. What you want to do is just pretty much limit your food options. So we want to just be focusing on greens, just pretty much minimal carbohydrates. You want to be actually just be focusing on all fresh food, a lot of lean meat. And then in turn, what's going to do is lower your body fat percentage, and then the six-pack's going to come through. Like we said, we've all got six-packs underneath there. It's just finding them. So what it is just a lot of sit-ups if you want to build the muscle, and if you want to get rid of the little bit of fat on top, it's just all about diet.
Now, you mentioned carbohydrates. You mentioned sort of foods that are high in carbohydrates, which sort of contributes to that weight gain.
Yep.
What are foods that can sort of contain a lot of carbohydrates?
Well, you don't really want to cut out all carbohydrates.
Yeah.
It's just refined carbohydrates and things like white bread, things like that. If you're not doing a lot of energy, if you're not doing a lot of exercise, you're not going to expel that energy. So you really want to make sure you're eating a lot of, unprocessed foods. So you want to make sure you're going on like nice wholemeal bread, bits and pieces like that. That really help your system digest and really get rid of some of the excess stuff through the stomach.
And I've heard a rumour as well, is that I think one of the green vegetables, broccoli, Yeah. I don't mind it. But I've heard somebody was telling me recently that it takes more energy to burn it. So actually, when you eat it, you're actually burning energy as well. Or is that just a myth?
I think with broccoli, I'm not 100% sure with broccoli. That one's maybe a bit of a myth, but I know celery has that. So yeah, celery actually has kilojoules. So what you're going to do is actually burn a little bit of energy whilst eating it. Well, it takes to digest it, actually.
Okay, cool. I've got a celery plant in the backyard, so I'm going to go home tonight and raid it and just eat lots of it. Now, Rhett, the other reason we wanted to get you in this morning is to issue you with a challenge.
Okay.
With myself and Darren. As we sort of mentioned, we've got a little bit extra weight. We want to see if you'll accept the challenge, and then maybe in the next couple of weeks we can maybe come along to one of your sessions with Body Revival, and you can maybe try and get us in shape and a little bit fitter leading up to Christmas.
Yeah, sounds fantastic. I'm sure I can find a few exercises out there that'll push you to your limits.
What would you get us doing if we were to come along?
When we first come along, we'll probably do a little bit of fitness test to start off with, so just probably a few short sprints and a little bit of a jog just to warm up. Find out where your body's at the moment, because some people think they're physically fit and their body is probably about 20 years older than what they think they are. And other people are totally opposite. Some people are like, I haven't done exercise in 10 years and they're still pretty much the same as they were. So what we're going to do is put you through a little bit of testing, find out where you're at, and then we go through a bit of a pre-screening exercise. So we make sure we haven't got any injuries or anything that's going to impair you from actually exercising. And then from there we look at your goals and what you want to achieve. And then we'll hit you out on the track.
Should we do this, Daz?
I'm getting tired just thinking of it.
Well, over the next couple of weeks here on 941, you can hopefully follow myself and Darren as we sort of go along with Rhett, and our goal is, Darren, to maybe lose a couple of kilos leading up to Christmas.
Yeah, a couple would be okay.
Well, Rhett Thomas Lee from station sponsor Body Revival, thank you very much for coming in this morning here to 941 with helping us out with some tips on how to get fitter in the lead up to Christmas, and also a big thank you as well for accepting the challenge to help myself and Darren also get fitter leading up to Christmas. We'll catch up with you very soon at one of your fitness sessions, and we'll then let the listeners know of what will be happening for myself and Darren in our quest to get fitter for Christmas. Rhett, thanks very much again for coming in this morning.
Sounds fantastic. Thanks for having me.
From station sponsor Body Revival, that is Rhett Thomas Lee, our 941 fitness guru, and we'll keep you up to date as to how myself and Darren do go in our quest over the coming weeks to lose a couple of kilos. We'll have all the action and all the audio from our fitness session coming up very soon with Rhett. You are listening to 941 for a Monday morning.